Hello and welcome to November. It's not really November, it's still October, but I'm going to create my November TBR, and to do that, we've got to go all the way back to September because in October, I didn't actually create a new TBR because I had so many books left over from September. So right now, at this midpoint in October, I only have 5 books left on my September TBR that I haven't finished yet. And so those are on my October TBR, and they'll for sure get read. So hopefully there will not be any carryover books. So we start here with November. And these are the steps that I go through every time. And these change periodically. They don't change all the time, and they're still kind of similar, but they do change. And I'm going to show you right now how this is going to change a little bit. I decided that trying to shoot for 30 books is too many in 1 month, and reading 30 books is not too many. I do that. But when I plan out 30 books, it leaves me no room for the spur of the moment buddy reads or any other kind of stuff that just pops up like that. And so the way I am going to fix that is that I'm not going to plan as many books, and then we'll just see what happens throughout the month, and it'll just leave me more room to add in new things or to add in extra things. Bye, Django. When people pop something up and say they want to read something, or if I forget about a buddy read that I'm supposed to do or something like that. So that's what we're going to do today, though. First of all, carryover books we just kind of talked about, and I'm going to hope that there are 0 carryover books because I did a much better job in October of not overwhelming myself. So right now, we're just going to put that at 0, and I will definitely go back and change it if I need to. It's fine. Netgalley Books. I only have 2 books that I'm approved for right now at Netgalley, and this one they're going to archive it on the 14th of December, and it doesn't even come out until February of 2022, but I think I should go ahead and read it just because I don't want to be late. So maybe I'm supposed to have it done by the time the archive date happens in December. I don't know. This is only the 2nd or 3rd book that I've ever even read on Netgalley, so I'm trying to go slowly through it, but I'm going to put this as a Netgalley book for me to read this month, just so I have it in here and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we already have 1 book. Here is where I was talking about how this changes. So what I am doing is I was watching a video from Books Like Whoa. What's her name? I forgot. She says, "Oh, hello." I love the way she does the beginning of her thing. Anyway, she loves J.D. Robb, which is like Nora Roberts that writes romance. It's the same person, but this is like a mystery series that she writes. And so she said, just like a month ago, she said there's 52 books in the series. And when I heard that, I thought, well, there are 52 weeks in a year. And so I was like, what if I read one of her books every week and I would be finished in a year? Well, there are actually a little over 52 books in this series. So I've decided to start in November reading 1 book a week. And so you'll see that it says 4 to 5 books because I'm going to start every Sunday morning, I'm going to start the next book. So if there are 4 Sundays in a month, if there are 5 Sundays, that will determine how many books. So in November, there are 4 Sundays. So I'm going to say 4 books, and I have the list here. I just did a printable list of chronological list of the In Death series. So I'm going to be reading Naked in Death, Glory in Death, Immortal in Death, and Rapture in Death. And these were written in 1995 and 1996. Apparently, she averages 2 books per year, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, now this is something else new that I've decided to add. So I've been using, if you've been here before for the random prompts, I've been using this Hey Reader site for the random prompts, and I still like it, but I found another one called the TBR Machine, and they both have YouTube channels for these 2 people that created them, so I will link their channels below. But what I've decided to do is roll 1d6. Let's see, I'll do a red one and a black one. So the black one is going to be for the TBR machine prompts, and the red one is going to be for the Hey Reader prompts. And then we'll just see how many we get, and that's what we'll read. So I'm going to turn you down. Well, I'll just tell you what it says. You'll believe me. The red one, which is for the Hey Reader, is a 3. And the black one, oh my goodness, is a 6. So we're going to start with Hey Reader. And in order to do that, if you've been here before, you know what I do. I go here to my story graph, and then I go to my to be read pile. And we talked about this before, how many books I had in here. And it was like 700. And now you can see that there's 883. That is because I have taken all of my books and moved them over to Storygraph. So all the books that I own, all the books that I hear about, anything that I want to read goes on this list. So some of these I've already read that are on this section right here, and some of them are on my TBR to be read this month. So we'll skip over those. Otherwise, I always filter to the earliest added to my list because I want to start with the ones that have been on my TBR the longest. Okay, so let's do 3. Let's spin the wheel this time. 3 random spins. A book that ends in an odd number of pages. Okay, so this tells me right here how many pages are in the books. And while it might not be accurate and it might not be the exact copy that I'm going to be reading, I don't care. I'm going to trust whatever this says. So these both are already on my list, so they don't count. So let's see. An odd... Hey, the very first one, The Poppy War. Okay, so we're going to get another prompt. So we're getting 3 from this, and this will be prompt number 2. A place in the title. Okay. So we're right here. These we've already, they're on the list already. The Immortals, Middle Game, Finding, Mating, Wife, I, Brave, Malice, Cities, The Lost Cities. You think that counts? Oh, Motherless Brooklyn, that for sure counts. So, okay. And our last one on Hey Reader, get another prompt. Set in a fictional town or world. Well, that shouldn't be easy. I mean, it shouldn't be hard with all the stuff I have in here. The Immortals, maybe this is set in a fictional town. Do we know anything about this book? Oh, Manhattan has many secrets. So I'm going to guess no, that's not set in a fictional town. How about Middle Game? So it doesn't tell me if it takes place. It just says meet Roger and Dodger, his twin. That's so weird. From the author, okay. Skilled with words, languages, he instinctively understands how the world works through the power of story. So I'm going to say that they're still set in our world. Maybe not, but since it's not exactly easy to figure out, maybe not. This is hard. Harder than I thought. Nope, that says something during the Korean War, so clearly that's still here. This is my first Talia Hibbert that somebody told me I should read. The family has a coffee shop. Okay, I'm going to say no again because I can't tell for sure. And then we have Wife of the Gods, Detective Inspector Darko Dawson. He's in Ghana. That sounds like a part of our world. Okay. The Eye of the World, The Wheel of Time. Surely that in the third age, an age of prophecy, the world and time themselves hang in the balance. Surely that is in a different world, but oh my gosh, it's 814 pages. Can I go back to the 136 page? Okay, I guess I'm going to be starting The Wheel of Time in November. The good news is The Eye of the World is also on my 100 Best Fantasy list, so just putting it here will eventually get it off of that list as well. Now, something else that has changed. The NPR Challenge that I do, oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Now we're going to do the 6 books on the TBR machine. Let me close Hey Reader. We don't need that anymore. Here we go. Randomize. And randomize. A book with a beautiful cover. I always like these because you can kind of pick whatever and say, oh, that's beautiful. But I kind of want to decide between these three books. They've been on my thing the longest. And if I was picking just based on the cover, I really like how this looks. I don't really like that it's got 447 pages, but now that I'm looking, this one has 528, and I would not call this cover beautiful anyway, like creepy and cool, but not beautiful. This one I kind of like, but it makes me feel like springy vibes, I think. So I'm going to go with this one. That's what I'm going to put on my November TBR. Now, the next one. Read a book set in a school or university. So I'm pretty sure Middle Game is not set in a school. Let's see. This one might have to do with a school. Faced with middle school racism, Junie Kim learns of her grandparents' extraordinary strength and finds her voice. So it's got to be at a school because down here it says she just wants to fit in at her school, but she gets racist graffiti. So here we go. Okay, next. Read a book that is out of your comfort zone. I just realized that I scooted this over and it might be messing things up. This one says fiction fantasy. I don't think that's out of my comfort zone. This one says fiction mystery. I don't think so. Maybe I need to find, there we go. I was going to say maybe I need to find a young adult book because I don't really love young adult books, mostly. I think, though, that I might go with young adult because I don't put very many of them on my list, and usually when I'm sorting, I will filter out the young adult books just because they are not always the best. They don't always ring with me, or they're not always my favorite because I usually get annoyed at the main characters because of the decisions that they make. But I'm going to go with this one. Nope, that's middle grade. Where's the one I just found that was, oh, right here. I'm going to go with The Love Hypothesis by Laura Stephen. Okay, 3 more. Read a favorite book of a friend or family member. I feel like a lot of these would work because most of these recommendations came because of a friend or family member. But I'm going to say Malice, right? Because there are a lot of people who like Malice. A lot of my friends like Malice. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'm going to read The Never-Ending Story. It's on my list, and it is Andrew's favorite book from Get Right On In. So I'm going to read this one. Okay. I think that'll be fun that I can tell him about it. And also, I've been wanting my small in-person book club to read it. And so it's my turn to suggest a book, and that's what I'm going to pick for them anyway. So that'll be perfect. All right, 2 more. Read a sad book. I don't like sad books. Let me go up here and see how many I have on my list because I probably don't have very many. All the Children Are Home. There we go. I have 10 sad books on my whole 800 and something book TBR because I don't like sad books. Okay, All the Children Are Home. I think that this might be good. We'll see. Okay, I did those 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is the last one. Oh my gosh, outside my comfort zone, read a book that's for young adults. Okay, so I'm in my TBR pile, right? I'm still filtering, so I'm going to include young adult, and that's it. And I took sad off, so filter. I have 144 books that are young adult out of my 800, but I already have The Love Hypothesis. I'm reading I Wish You All the Best, so I guess it's going to be muted. It's not going to be muted because that's poetry and I'm saving it for next year. So I guess it's going to be Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Okay, that is all 9 of them. Wow. So I already have 13 books. Didn't I say I was not going to do as many? All right, let's get down here to the NPR Challenge. And what I might end up doing in the future, if this does turn out to be too many, is I might just roll one of these and then just divide it and do half of them at the Hey Reader and half of them in the TBR machine. We'll see what we're going to do. Another thing that I did was, instead of doing 6 books at a time from the NPR Challenge, I'm only doing 3. And over here, the last one that I did was 2015 in the dark. The section, the section is called The Dark Side, and I stopped at 2015. So I'm going to do 16, 17, and 18 for this. 2016, 2017, 2018. All right. Let's see what NPR has for us. 2016, 67. Pick a number 1 to 67.
It's 44.
All right, so we're going to start at the back. Five. 44. Terror in the City of Champions, Murder, Baseball, and the Secret Society That Shocked Depression-Era Detroit by Tom Stanton. That is a very long title, but it sounds awesome. So, of course, these NPR books are not on my story graph. I mean, usually they're not. So I just come over here and add them to the to read because I want to be able to put them in my November TBR tag so that I have all of them together. Okay. Now we go to 2017 and we have 71. Pick a number 1 to 71.
The answer is 33.
Okay. 33. Universal Harvester, a novel. That is a very cool looking cover. Universal Harvester. Oh, it's a mystery and thriller. Okay, I'm not reading about them. I never want to know about them. I just love it. Okay, Universal. Okay, so now we go to 2018. Pick a number 1 to 60.
The answer is 48.
Okay.
60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51.
50, 49, 48. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not blocking this, so I'm going to scoot it over. Melmoth, a novel. Melmoth? Melmoth. I don't know how you say that, but okay. It says it's also part of historical fiction and speculative fiction, sci-fi fantasy, so we'll see. This might be awesome. Sarah Perry. Okay, so we are done with the NPR. Whoops, I didn't mean to open another one. And we've added that onto the thing. So this is another thing that I'm doing. I am removing Shelf Published and Shelf Space Book of the Month. Those are 2 Discord channels that I'm a part of. And I had been trying to keep up with everything that they were reading. And I just kept feeling so much pressure to like read. And so I thought, I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. If I want to, or if I have time, I will totally pick them up and add them to my books. But I'm not going to put that pressure on myself to do it. Okay, subscriber recommendation. I still have my wheel over here that says there are 66 entries on it. Now, some of these I've read, so if they come up, I'm just going to remove them and then I'll spin again. So let's see what we have. Alice Hoffman, Practical Magic. I have never read that. So, I've never seen the movie either. I mean, I think there's a movie, right? All right, so I'm going to go over here because I think it has like Bette Midler in it. Is that what I'm thinking of, or is that something else? Anyway, it says it was first published in 1995. I think this is going to be awesome. This one sounds like it'll be fun at least. I mean, it does say emotional. It better not be sad. I better not get a sad book. Okay, so that is my subscriber read. Now we look at Klaus's list. And if I go over here, I am finishing The Return of the King in November. So that one's for sure going on the list. Let me put it bold. And then, well, I can unbold that one. I have finished R.A. Salvatore's first 3. I am going to keep going, but I'm just leaving that as like a normal thing. So it looks like I'm going to be reading Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erickson and Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. So The Return of the King, Gardens of the Moon, and Red Country. So let me go add those. I have enjoyed the 3 books so far that I've read by Joe Abercrombie. However, I've heard that Gardens of the Moon or the Malazan series by Steve Erickson is really difficult to read. So we'll see. I mean, it's just physically, it's just hard to get through. It's not like emotionally hard. It apparently is hard to understand. So anyway, we'll see how that goes for me. But that is what I'm going to try to read in November. Okay, the last thing is my author challenge list. Those lists are right here. I have for Tamara Pierce, right now this month, I'm finishing The Lioness Rampant. So I'll be reading Wild Magic. And for Stephen Graham Jones, I'm reading right now, The Only Good Indians. So I'm going to be reading Zombie Bake Off next for his. And I'm not reading his in order. Hers need to be read in order because they follow an order for the characters. But his are not connected. At least I haven't found any that are connected yet. So it's just kind of whatever all over the place. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, 20, 22, 23 books right now on this list. And that is much better than 28, 29, and 30, which I had previously. So we will see how this goes. If this ends up being too many, then, like I said, I will cut back on some of those new author books and how I'm doing that. And then we'll just see what happens. So I am really excited for November. If you have read any of these, or if you want to read along with me for any of these, please let me know, and I will start a channel on my Discord, or we can find another way for us to talk about it. But I would love to discuss any of these books with any of you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.